Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome to the Ryan Polimeni Show. What's up, man?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, buddy. I'm excited to spend some time with you, bro. We've been hanging out for, dude, it's been close to 3 years now. Can you believe that?
I can't believe how fast that went by. I met you in, what was it, 2018. You had just announced the 8% first conference. I was a part of we call it the inauguration event, right?
Yes.
Absolutely was so fired up to be a part of that. And truthfully, it was an honor to be a part of that because it was one of those things, Cody, where I saw it and I was like, this is phenomenal. This is going to change the industry. I got to be a part of it. And, a phone call later and you were like, let's roll, baby. And here we are today.
That's right, man. Well, dude, I'm excited to spend some time with you because one thing is true is this dude continues to make more money every single year. And he doesn't have to totally change his business every year either. Like everything you're doing just keeps flipping, growing, man. For those that are joining, whether it be Facebook or YouTube, also, as you guys are joining, please throw something in comments, stay engaged, like this, etc. I've actually got an idea today where I'm going to pick out the most engaged individual from Facebook and YouTube, and I'm going to do something special for you, okay? My team's going to remind me. I say a lot of stuff, but my team's going to remind me, and I promise you I will follow through. So stay engaged, share it to some groups, comment, tag some agents. This dude can help you make more money. Guaranteed, man. The question is how much, right? And I think you're going to talk about how much this Friday.
Yeah. This is important, Cody, it's something that I've been asked by a lot of people to do. And, I've been so busy in my own practice that I haven't taken the time that I really wanted to bring it to the public. And I think that it's so needed because, this Friday, with my master class, dude, I'm spending 5 hours. I wish I could spend 5 hours with my own team. I'm spending 5 hours, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's a long time, man. That's going to be awesome. I mean, the amount of information that you're going to be able to take from your brain, which is, it's the money making 7-figure money man brain, and boom, download it into the other agents and help them have the success you're having is freaking wild, man. I'm excited for it. So why, right? For those who are just now joining, Ryan Polimeni and I, as a guest, are doing a Annuities and IUL masterclass this Friday. Okay. What times it start? What can they expect to learn? Give them some of those details.
Yeah, definitely. So 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 5 p.m. And Cody, I've never done a training this long before. And the reason that we pushed it for 5 hours, I originally was like, 3. I was like, there's no way. There's no way that I could honestly teach somebody how to build a multi-million-dollar practice in 3 hours. So I'm like, let's just give away, let's give the content up. Let's do it. Let's expand it. So during that 5-hour period of time, I know it's a lot. I'm going to give breaks, I promise. But some of the things what we are going to be talking about is, number one, the mindset of a top producer. Because obviously, like you had just said it. You said this guy knows how to make 7 figures, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is it took me 12 years to get here. So what I want to do is I want to start off the masterclass with talking about how to change that mindset. How do you start thinking differently? How do you start understanding your business at a higher level and thinking about your business on a higher level? When you and I did our last YouTube video, I talked about the difference between a CEO mindset. And I think that that's what we're going to do to lay the foundation of the entire training. Because if we can get people thinking differently, getting, somewhere in a little bit of my mindset on how I run my practice, and how, truthfully, Cody, in 5 years, I've built this. The first few years of my career was mortgage protection, final expense, but I had to start thinking different. And so 5 years ago, I kind of went on this journey to start changing my mindset on thinking about this at a higher level. And that's the foundation that we're going to lay. So that's going to be one of the most important. That's where you're going to be coming into and helping me out. I'm so fired up to have you on as a guest because, you're going to have 2 of the people in this industry that are purely dominating, that are making the money that a lot of people want to make, right? And we can teach that in a simple manner. So one of the things, too, throughout this masterclass is I'm teaching this simplicity because I think people overcomplicate this entire industry, but I'm going to simplify it. What I mean by that, too, is I'm going to teach people, Cody, no matter what marketing system you're using. Look, and I know that people are doing things differently, right? Some people use leads, some people do seminars. No matter what you're doing, I'm going to show people, whether even on final expense and mortgage protection leads, I'm going to show people how to find and uncover money in any marketing system. It does not matter what you're doing. And I think it's going to be really important because one thing that I have learned is when you ask great questions, you're going to get great answers. And I'm going to share every single question that I ask. I'm not holding back on anything. Okay. Nothing. So I'm going to share the questions to ask, how to uncover money, how to go through a fact finding process that I do. And then from there, what's next? All right, so you found money, then what? I'm going to show people on the screen live how to take an illustration, annuity and IUL illustration, and break it down and how to simply
Mm.
explain it to a client. Because I think that's really where people get caught up. I get this question all the time how do I explain this illustration? What do I do to present this? And I'm going to share with everybody how I do it and break it down to a kindergarten level that allows people to see it and go, oh, that makes total sense, right? Then I'm going to take people through my entire appointment process. I go on a 3-step process. I'm going to take people through all 3 of those steps, all phases of the retirement planning process. And I'm going to do live case designing. I'm going to take clients that I have done and some that I actually am working on today, and I'm going to put them up and I'm going to share my mindset on case designing multi-million-dollar cases. And then we're going to tie it all in. Then at the end of it, I'm going to show people how we close business, write the apps, and then most importantly, our entire follow-up process. How do you keep engaged with the client once they're already done? How do you keep them in your pipeline for further, maybe more sales later on, or keep them engaged? And so I'm going to share, it's a lot, but in 5 hours, I'm going to give you everything that I've done to build a 7-figure income and a $50 million plus financial firm.
Boom. 12 years into 5 hours. That's a lot of income. That's freaking a legendary. So here's the stuff. Okay, for those who are just now joining, Ryan and I, it's really he's doing an annuity and IUL masterclass, right? I'm jumping on to talk about like expanding a company and your sales, etc. But if you think about it, here's what he's going to cover on Friday's masterclass. We posted the link so that you can register. Also, for those before I even let you know what you're going to learn, which is also on the landing page. Before I even let you know what all is included in this event, okay, is that there's only a few. What he's doing is he's heavily discounting the joining fee for the first 25, and I can tell you there's only a few spots left to guarantee that price point. Number one, okay, and some could say, well, it's $700. Like, dude, $700 to Ryan Polimeni is like flipping chump change. Like, the dude is not doing it because of that. The dude's doing it because he knows that when you know what he knows, boom, you make more money, right? I kind of like that. When you know what he knows, and that's pretty good.
It comes down to investing yourself. That's the biggest key to this whole thing, Cody, is I could have put it for $99, but I want people to have skin in the game. You got to make an investment in you. If you're going to get to this level, it's pay to play. There's no doubt about it. I don't care. It is pay to play. Right. And you need to invest and make the investment in yourself.
That's right. I mean, do you think about it? You have to pay. I really believe, here's my philosophy. People have to pay before they pay attention.
Sure.
And also, you don't want anyone on that event Friday that isn't serious about taking their business to another level. Because I can tell you, there is no way they spend 5 hours with you and learn and download everything you know, and they don't go make freaking 6 figures selling annuities this year. The only way that would be possible is if they didn't put in the effort, right? So let me cover what you're going to be talking about, right? You're going to be talking about the mindset of a multi-million-dollar producer. Boom, check. I'll take that, right? Building an office infrastructure for success. Dude, I'm in. Like, I'm going to probably have 12 pages of notes myself just watching you Friday. How to sell annuities and IULs from your mortgage protection and final expense leads. Boom. That's huge. How to keep your lead pipeline full. How to personally produce over $5 million per year in annuities. How to simplify the financial planning process. Who doesn't want to do that, right? I want to take a deep dive into financial fact finding process, and uncover money for large cases, right? You guys are sitting there virtually watching live right now, like, put up both hands. You're like, dude, I need that. Oh, and we're still not done. How to conduct a successful first appointment. How to do case design successfully. He's going to do that live with you on camera. Okay, the successful second appointment close. The actual close, like the freaking words, the phrases, and long-term client engagement. Now, I can tell you that all of this is a total value of over $22,000. Okay, because you're going to get access to his Advanced Markets Masterclass. You get access to his academy where you can watch videos forever so that you can skill up and learn along the way. You're going to get 3 months of recorded coaching sessions where you can learn what he's already taught others. You're going to get a marketing strategy session, a 15-minute call with Ryan so you can ask information. I'm going to be on there as a special guest. Total value, $22,397. And guess what? There's only a few spots left at a measly $749.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cody, I want to tell some people too. So when you hear these kind of things, like how to find bigger life or larger life cases.
Yeah.
I ran the statistics on our agency last year, and I'm very analytical. I'm like anally analytical when it comes to my numbers. And I can tell you right now, our average annuity case was $190,000 per case. The average industries is $75,000. So there's a reason for that. Our average life case, our IUL life and whole life case, was $3,400 in annual premium per case. So my question to you is it worth it to log in, listen, and learn just how to increase your life volume? Right. But it's done because we find money a certain way. It's the process. It's the fact finding. And people go, well, why IULs and annuities? Dude, they're so similar. If you're finding IUL money, you're going to find annuity money and vice versa most of the time, because they go hand in hand when you're building somebody a retirement plan. And that's one of the most important variables. This whole thing is, it took me when I was doing mortgage protection, I was like, man, I was fired up at a $30 a month app. Like that was something that, but now I'm going, our average app is 3,400 AP. So how would that look for your 2021 if I could teach you how to find 3 of those a month?
Exactly. I mean, dude, the price of admission is going to be paid for by your first sale, and actually fractionally of your, like a small percentage of your first sale is going to cover the class, and then you get every sale forever. Wilson says, hey, does that give us lifetime access to those videos forever?
Yeah, it does. And so that's the thing too, is a lot of people have bought my online academy. And so if you get the academy is included, it is lifetime access. I normally charge $2,400, but I put it down to $400 for this event. So, if you were just going to buy it separately, it is lifetime access to it. And I am constantly adding to it. So just because you're buying it today, I'm going to actually be adding videos as we go through.
Well, I told you too, like the first time we spoke, I'm like, dude, are you sure you want to give all of this away for $700 and change? I'm like, they're going to get lifetime access forever. They're going to get to talk to you, the $1 Million Man. They're going to get to have a marketing strategy session. They're going to get to have, the videos forever. They're going to get the 5 hours class. Like, I'm like, dude, you are making it impossible to say no.
I just want to give back. I've got to a point in my career, Cody, where, over the last couple of years, I've done some stuff online with you. I've helped out, but this year is going to be the year of me actually really bringing a lot of this training to the forefront. Unfortunately, I wish I had the time to talk with everybody. We get about 15 calls a week here at my office with advisors. I wish I could do it. I'm doing this because I don't have the time to talk to everybody one-on-one, and I want to bring this to the table. And I'm probably only going to do this 2-3 times a year, maybe, because I just don't have the time to. But my point is I'm doing this because I want to give back. I've learned so much, and I see a lot of people asking these kind of questions, kind of struggling with the information. And I want to bring it to the marketplace, like you said, to make people better. I just want to make people better this year. And I think that everybody has a phenomenal opportunity in front of them if they understand it and they bring it to the marketplace correctly.
Yeah. Roger Smith says, look, guys, in terms of interest in this, I'm as serious as a heart attack. Man,
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, we're getting a lot of people on. Like we just had a question from Makovu, something like that. Apologize. Will this help new agents, man? Okay, so not only will this help new agents, this will keep you for like 92% fail, most fail. If you grab a $5,000 life sale, that makes a freaking month, man. Like you grab a $10,000 annuity commission, like you just paid your bills for several months. And the other way, you got to make several sales to pay for it. So yes, it will give you the right questions and set you up for success at an early experience age in the industry. And I'm going to be jealous of you because of you as the new agent, because you're going to know stuff that I didn't freaking know, man. You're going to be so much farther ahead of Cody Askins because of listening to Ryan Polimeni.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm doing this for the new agent because, listen, I have other classes that I do. I'll give you an example. A month ago, I did one of these master classes for 3 hours for a $300 million company. It's a different level. I
Yeah.
wanted to bring it down to where I'm brand new to the industry. What is an annuity? Let's start there. I'm gonna break down the inside and out of an annuity and an IUL so you even understand, because how can you explain it to a client if you don't even know what it is? What I could tell you is over the last 12 years of doing this, the reason why people don't sell IULs and annuities, the reason I didn't for 6 years, I didn't understand it. I had no idea what they were. So how the heck do I explain it to a client? I'm
Right.
going to change that. I'm going to break it down to the inner workings of an annuity so you understand how they work mechanically and then how to explain an illustration simply. So I'm going to kindergarten at all levels, whether you're brand new, today's your first day in the industry, or maybe you're that $1 million producer and you're trying to get to 5 million. This system and this training is going to be built for that. And again, I'm going to give some of the stuff I'm going to give is going to be pretty advanced, but it's going to be a good thing that people understand it because they can see, okay, so where I'm at today, but in 5 years I could be here.
That's it. And I'm going to even add something too. Okay. Those watching, I'm going to throw something in the mix just for the fun of it. Okay. I do not have to do this. My team's going to kill me, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. The first 3 people that take action on Ryan's Annuity and IUL Masterclass today, while we're watching this, and you report back in comments, I went and purchased, Cody, okay? The first 3 that do it right now, because we only have a few spots left, I'm going to also give you a 15-minute strategy call with me for free.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You have a half hour. So that's a half hour between 2 of some of the best minds in the industry. That's killer.
Yeah.
That's killer. And so I know obviously we're promoting the heck out of this because I think it's important that everybody hears it. But I want to remind people, I think it's important, Cody, that these guys that are listening understand, where we came from and how we got here, right? Because everybody sees us, oh, this guy's doing $1 million a month and annuities, blah, blah, blah. It's all great. But Cody, 10 years ago, or 12 years ago, really, when I started in this industry, dude, I was early 20s, dead broke. I mean, broke as a joke, and it's funny because I have this, and I think a lot of people can relate to this. I have this check that I had to write I lived in Rhode Island at the time when I first started, and I was back and forth to Massachusetts, but I flew into Boston Airport and I had to go through the toll. If you've ever been to Boston Airport, as soon as you get out of the airport, there's a toll, and it was $3.50. I couldn't afford that. So I actually had to stop the whole line of traffic. Now, if you ever come out of Boston, there's a line of traffic behind me wrapped around the block because I was the guy that didn't have the $3.50 to pay the toll. So they had to write up a ticket. They had to bill me for it. And, and like 2 weeks later, I had to write a check for $3.50. I keep that check up on my, on my bulletin board right here in my office to remind me of where I started. And I think that, you see all this glitz and glam and, but I was there it seemed like, just yesterday, I remember it, but, my first 5-6 years in business, I struggled, man. Mortgage protection, filing expense, I was able to do well, like a lot of people, but I was always kind of hungry for that next opportunity. And, 5 years ago is when I got into really the annuity and kind of IUL and wealth management side of things that changed everything for me. But for those of you that are watching, dude, I spent my first 5 years struggling through my 20s, learning this business, trying to figure it out, giving it everything I had, traveling all over the country to make a sale, going to different states to make a sale, and just getting by for a long time. I never had the mentor that said, Ryan, let me hold your hand. I'm just show you a few things. Had I had that, man, what a difference it would have made. And so that's why, I know that a lot of people call my office all the time. They're like, man, I really can connect with your story because it's real, right? It's a genuine thing that I've gone through. And so, for you guys that are watching this that want to get to that next level, maybe you're struggling. I know $700 is a lot or $750 is a lot for some people. but I would have done the same thing. I mean, to be able to tap in and hear these kind of things that show me how to get to that level, dude, I was hungry for that, man. I needed something like that. And that's why I'm doing what I do. That's why I'm doing the coaching and this thing, because I want to reach down and grab the hand of somebody that's struggling and go, dude, come here. Let me show you what I did. I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to show you my last 5 years on going from not being able to pay my rent 5 years ago to, 7-figure income. I'm going to show you the timeline and what actually transpired, how I had some of my big breaks, right? Because I've gotten here because I've had some big breaks, but I had those big breaks because I put myself in those positions. So I want to share that part of it in the masterclass too, on how you can get those kind of things to happen to you.
That's good. I love that you're sharing your story too, because you would naturally see you now and never think you couldn't afford $3.50.
It was brutal, man. It was brutal. I had to sell jewelry that was passed down generationally just to sell that, make money, buy leads.
That was you with the watch, right? Or was it
My necklace, gold
necklace?
chain.
Yes.
My dad passed down a necklace that was given to him, and I had to pawn that. I pawned that, made $800, bought leads, wrote $8,000 in premium the next week. Sometimes you have to sacrifice things to get to where you want to be, but that was it, dude. That was where I was
Yeah.
less than 10 years ago.
It's crazy. I mean, because actually Wilson, who I was on a call with him recently, and he's like, yeah, was that the guy that like sold the jewelry and like, had and then went and made money and then went and bought it back? And I'm like,
That was it. That was me.
that was him. They remembered your story. That's awesome. He's like, dude, that resonated with me so much. Okay,
Where
so
we were, man. That's what I'm saying.
gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's why you're a good dude and you care and you're doing something like this for agents when you don't have to. You don't need the $700. Like, you don't have to do it. Wilson says, all right, Cody, I just pulled the trigger and signed up. My wife's going to be ticked. I spent this much, but I think the value from this is going to be incredible. There's no question about it, man. It's so insane that it's completely no-brainer. And now we're going to be spending some more time together. So thank you, buddy. He said, I know. Did you buy back the necklace?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Thank God. Thank God I wrote the $8,000 and it was still there to go get it back.
Exactly.
I think I pawned it for 300. Had to buy it back for like 5 or something. I don't remember what the number. It was something ridiculous, but well worth it.
Awesome. Michael says thumbs up. Comment. What's up, 8%? Love it, buddy. Thanks for being here. And also we just added, right? You're getting for those who are just not joining us. We're talking about a annuity and IUL masterclass that Ryan is doing Friday. That I'm guest speaking on. That we posted the registration link in comments, and we can go ahead and do that again now. You do not want to miss this thing. We got a couple more seats left at the current price point. Ryan is going to download everything he's learned in the last 12 years, and he's going to implement it for you. What's one of the biggest things that you can look back on and say, you know what, this is what I wish I would have known sooner, and here's why it's so important, and this is something I'm going to be covering on Friday.
Yeah. So I would tell you the biggest thing is my self-image that I've been able to build up over the past few years. I wish that when I had started, I looked at myself more as a CEO of my company and not necessarily as an insurance agent, because there's a very big difference in thought process, the way you feel, the way you think, the way you act, and that to me is something that really, so when I look back 5 years ago, and I keep using this reference because it was 5 years ago that I kind of got into this, that was the change, Cody. That was the change, is going, dude, I'm more, and I'm not knocking, I still sell insurance. I'm more than an insurance salesman. I am the CEO of my corporation. I need to think like it. I need to make decisions like it. I need to build partnerships like it. And I need to understand my craft better than anybody else. And so what I'm going to teach is that, right? How did I make that mindset change? What were some of the things that I thought about differently? How did I view my finances, my investments in my business? When I stopped bitching and moaning about a lead, that I got stuck on, like, this stupid mortgage protection lead, I spent $30, it didn't work. When I got out of that mindset and I started going, well, crap, if I had 20 more of these, this wouldn't be an issue. If I didn't make the investment, it would have been, you see what I'm saying? So it's those
Yes,
kind of things, Cody, that I wish that I would have thought about differently, even as a brand new agent.
right. One of the things that just came up, Michael says, is this class going to help me find easy prospects or just information on how to sell it? Because he also said, I need to learn how to get fish on the line. Is that a topic?
Yes. So I'm gonna talk about all of the different marketing methods to find money, to find prospects, no matter what you are, and no matter what your budget is. No matter what your budget is, because I'll tell you, Cody, the $10+ million a year producers that I hang out with,
Yeah.
they pay to play. And
Mm.
I had a call with a gentleman yesterday. I called their office, was asking this same question, going, well, how do I do what you do? I go, well, you have to pay to play like I do, right? Meaning,
Yeah.
no, I started doing $2, $3, $4,000, and it takes time to build your pipeline. But there are things you can do to not have to just do all of that. And I'm going to explain that. I'm going to explain the different ways that you can use different marketing platforms to find prospects that are of quality. And how do you qualify a prospect? How do you know when somebody's a good candidate? Because not everybody's a good candidate. Let's just be real. And how do you qualify and go, this is the client that I want to work with? Because when you get to this level, Cody, you get to pick and choose who you want to work with clientele wise. You don't have to take on everybody.
That's exactly right, which I freaking love, by the way. I used to not understand that. As a new agent, I did not understand that. Early on, I'm like, okay, I thought that I had to, like, you know, what I mean, do those things and know those things, but in reality, you really don't. You know, I mean, which I love. So here's what it sounds like. Here's what you're going to do. Okay, jump in if I say anything incorrect. How to market it. How to market and find the right people to sell big cases to. How to identify that they are the right person. How to qualify them once you identify them.
Yep.
Process for going along the journey with them, and then the process for actually closing them.
That's right.
That's good.
Right. Oh, and by the way, throughout the entire class, what we're going to do is at the top of every hour, we're going to take about a 10-minute break, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do Q&A. So not only am I going to just go, but I'm going to give people the opportunity to ask a question. Obviously, I can't take every single question as we go, but I'm going to put up a link where people will be able to ask questions. And I'm going to take some time and say, okay, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to go through the questions and I'm going to answer because I want people to understand why I do what I do, say what I say, and do the things that I do as far as
Yep.
case designing and explaining. So yeah, no, I'm throwing in the Q&A throughout the entire 5 hours. Not just you're going to listen to me for Q&A as we go.
That's awesome. We did have a are your leads receptive to Zoom, which is a phenomenal question, and
Great question.
you answer it.
So I write $1 million a month right here at this table. Over I use GoToMeeting, but you Zoom as well. This is where I do all of my business right here at this conference table to people from here all the way to California.
Say, somebody find me the money gun. I'm shooting that thing off. Right? Hey,
That's a great question though, because this world of virtual has opened up everything. What I love about it is you're no longer subjective to a territory, right? You can only go so far in a day. Here, you could buy annuity leads in Alaska and you can be in Florida and sell it over this, and you never have to leave your office. That changed my world last year, Cody. I had 3 offices, shut them all down. I was like, why am I paying for overhead when I can sit here, talk to more people in a day in 5 different states and write more business and be more profitable? Absolutely. Can you do this over Skype? And I'm going to teach that. I'm going to teach this process over Zoom.
That's awesome. Boom. I love it. Oh, Rich said how much? Hey, let's post the link again. Again, there's over $22,000 of total value for this. And let's just think about it. Like, if you knew half of what Ryan knows, because he's making 7 figures selling annuities and big life cases, would it be worth you investing $22,397? Yes.
Yeah.
Is he charging that? No, but he probably should have. And right now, for the next couple of people to take advantage, it's only $749.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mind blowing.
I know, Cody, you've been yelling at me that I need to charge more for all of my stuff, but I can't do it. I gotta make sure it's affordable for everybody to be able to get access.
I'm like, dude, this should be at least $5,000.
I know. I know. Well, I do charge the bigger company, so I'll make up for it with let their pockets, let
Yeah.
them pay for it. But
All
I
right.
will say, Cody, since we've been on, we've had some people sign up, and I'm going to give you everybody that has so they can do. But that means that we have a lot less space left, and I don't want people to pay the higher ticket price. So yeah, if you're watching, now's the time.
Yeah. Okay. I would say there's probably 2, 3, 4 spots left at the 749. What's I love that you shared your story about how you went from, dude, because there's a lot of people on here right now. They're like, I'm new, I'm struggling, man. I'm not making enough money. I'm like for me, there's been times in my life previously where I've had to invest large, what felt like a large amount of money to me at that point, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you talked about, like the $700. There was a point in my career where that was a lot more money than it is now.
oh, absolutely.
I can tell you, I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I wouldn't have paid people like Ryan, invested the money to know what they know. Because you think about it, knowing what Ryan Polimeni knows is truly, truly priceless. It's truly invaluable. And he won't brag on himself because he's not that kind of guy. But I can tell you, I'm going to brag on him because simply getting to know this dude, he says he's going to do an event for, initially it was going to be like 3 hours. He's like, no, there's no way. I'm going to have to over deliver anyway. Let's make it 5. And even at 5, he'll probably add some Q&A. Like the dude is going to go and go and go until you guys are like, dude, I know it all. I'm good. Like that's just how he operates.
Yeah. I want to give back, man. This Cody to me is just a way for me to give back. True. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish, again, I go back to, I get a lot of requests to come join my organization on a regular basis. And unfortunately, I turn people down. I'm not in the recruiting business right now. It's not where we are, but this is my way to be able to give back. It just really is. It's my way to be able to give my knowledge back to the field. And just, I am going to be doing a lot more on YouTube this year. So that's going to be kind of good. Everybody's going to be able to follow that and all that. So I'm going to try to make myself more present than I ever have been. But this is just my way to give back at the end of the day, dude. I don't want people to have the first 6 years that I had. It was miserable.
Right.
And the struggle was real, dude. The eviction notice on my door, all the things that could go wrong did. Being broke. I just don't want people to go through that, man. And I've struggled enough to help people not have to kind of, help people get through that learning curve where they understand how to not go through that.
Exactly. Jacob says, loved all your interviews with Cody Ryan, right down the road from you here in Charlotte, writing $1 million a year in annuities. I need more prospects though. So, okay. So this is someone that's like, okay, tasting the ice cream is like, okay, I'm getting it. I'm learning how to sell it, but I need someone to help me blow it up, sell it, expand it. And I can't think of a better person to jump in this masterclass than Mr. Jacob Danzig. Like, let's keep it. Let's be real. Right. So.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the feedback too. I do look at the comments, that's on YouTube, and I do appreciate the feedback, and I take that stuff seriously, and I'm going to make sure that everybody that goes through this masterclass, I want to hear everything that they have to say, both good and bad. And, that's how we get better. That's how I get better, as be able to train and bring us to the industry.
That's right. And for $100,000, you could move in with him for 30 days.
Yeah, for $100,000, we have a couple open office spaces in here. I'd probably allow that.
Would you do that for $100,000?
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
Thing is, you would have to talk to your wife and think about it. That's how well you're doing. It'd have to, like, it would cross your mind, like, well, am I sure I want to do this? Rich says, do you sell life also?
Do I sell life? Oh yeah, ton. I mean, our average life case, like I said, it was $3,400 annual premium. We do a lot of IULs and a lot of big whole life cases for certain reasons, and I'm going to explain why we do a little bit of each and the type of prospect that we would find for each one of those cases. I'm also going to explain why our life volume is that high. So yes, I do write a lot.
That's huge. We also got Joshua on YouTube from Uganda. That's awesome, man. Appreciate you joining from around the world. That's amazing. Ola Jamoki, I believe, it says commission percentages matter too. Some insurance agents give low. That's sure. Thanks for the good insight. Spent all my money this month with secure agent marketing, though. Well, dude, you could find another $700. Like, if life depended on it, Jacob, and you need $700, the dude could find another $700. I promise you. And if I have to pay for it for you, I may just do it because I'm tired of seeing you write a measly $1 million a year in annuities every year. When there's someone sitting here that can show you how to 10x it immediately, right? So congrats on the limited success that you have had.
Heck yeah. Dude, everything. I get so fired up when people are like, I wrote $1 million in annuities.
I
Dude,
know.
my first 6 years, I wish I wrote $1 million combined. I accidentally fell upon some annuities once in a while. It wasn't anything, it wasn't what I was talking about. It wasn't part of the culture, and every time I stumble upon it, I'd be like, I have no idea what to do. I mean, I accidentally wrote these things once in a while. But for
Yeah.
somebody like that, that's doing the deal, writing $1 million a year, like, dude, I'm fired up. I want to get that person to 5, 6, 7 million in 2021.
Mm, mm. And thank you for the security marketing investment too, Jacob. I appreciate that. I didn't mention that, but I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Richard, I'm new. How long will it take to be profitable?
So it depends on your marketing, right? I mean, obviously, the annuity world, I will tell you, is one of those things where it's a pipeline business, right? You have to keep the pipeline full with prospects that are, because an annuity can take anywhere from 3 weeks for the whole process to go through, all the way up to maybe a month and a half. Just depends on the company. Now I'm going to explain some of the things that we do here at the office to expedite that process to get paid faster. But the reality is this is the annuity world is one of those worlds that you have to have a couple months set aside that it's going to take time to build up, because you have to do the marketing. The process it takes a little bit longer. But once it's happening and all of a sudden your cases are starting to issue and you've got a pipeline full, dude, your world changes. But in the meantime, you don't stop doing what you're doing. If you're selling mortgage protection file, dude, you pedal to the metal. This becomes an addition to, until you start either replacing that income, and you've got your pipeline full, which allows you to start stepping away and focus more on this world. I didn't do that in 2015, when I started, I was running mortgage protection and final expense on the weekends, still paying my bills, keeping it coming in, while I was doing my seminars and doing my annuity leads and all that, trying to fill that pipeline. And then all of a sudden, it was just like big hit after big hit, because the cases started falling and they started issuing. And so on top of my life business, now I had this other income from my annuity world. It's just, so you have to continuously keep doing what you're doing while filling your pipeline. It's a pay to play business. You're going to have to spend some money to get there.
That's right. And also too, it's nice to know that, okay, I'm sitting here watching, if you're out there and you're thinking, okay, I can keep doing what I'm doing. I can keep making the 50 to 100 grand I'm making now, but he's going to show me how to ask a few questions to immediately add an extra, how much money to my bottom line in 2021. What would you say? Like, if they just join the masterclass, they do what you say, they ask the questions, they keep running their business, but you're going to show them how to find the money. They're going to be asking current clients for the money, doing what they're already doing. How much additional money do you think they'll find this year?
Easily 50 grand. I mean, easily. I mean, if you just, because if you just wrote a few annuities, you could probably get there. But here's the thing: when you're working life insurance leads, mortgage protection, final expense, there are 1 to 2 opportunities out of every 10 appointments you run.
Mm,
If you're not finding an annuity sale or opportunity in 1 or 2 out of every appointments that you're running, you're doing it wrong. And I'm going to explain to you how to find that 1 or 2, sometimes 3, 4 on a good week, but at least for every 10 appointments you run, I'm going to show you how to find 1 to 2 opportunities. And listen, if you don't do anything else but just follow what I say, ask the questions that I ask, and implement it, and you don't do any other marketings for annuities or IULs, you will double your annuity volume just by doing that, just by finding the 1 or 2 in every 10 without doing anything additional, but asking more questions.
that's awesome. That's huge, man. So $700, that's the investment. It's live Friday. You got 72 hours.
750. Want to make sure we're accurate.
Yes,
749.
749.95. That's a good point. 700. No, I'm just kidding, 750 to 50K. Right. That's the return on investment here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Jacob says, I love the mindset. CEO versus agent. My problem is my business controls me. I'm not in control of my business, at the mercy of it, of if I get referrals this month or not. Ooh.
Yeah, dude, so I could tell you right now, we have complete control of our business. No one runs us, dude. And that's the difference, man. You look around and you see my staff walk behind. We run a machine from this office. And there's a reason for it. And I'm going to explain how we took control of our business 5 years ago.
I love it, man. And I love seeing the busy operation behind you, people walking by constantly. Like, I love that, dude. It's real. Like, it's authentic. And it makes me want to move my Facebook Lives out in the middle of our office. I mean, I'm jealous watching, man. You got people moving and shaking. I'm like, I love this.
Well, think about your clients watching this. So people who asked you to do this on Zoom, you know how important that is? I'm here for, there's a window here for a reason that we had put in. I
Mm,
want clients to see the movement because I'm not in my mom's basement pretending like I know what I'm doing. Like, it's an operation
yeah,
that we're running.
that's right. Which is, yeah, there's a lot of that psychology to this too, especially when you give people's money, like, and you've clearly understood that. How big has that been to transitioning, as we got a couple more minutes, how big has that been in transitioning into this as you have started to think about all the little details and improved everything slowly?
Yeah. So I will tell you, it took me, because I did a lot of this on my own. I had a really good mentor that kind of showed me the way. And so that helped expedite 5 years ago, that helped expedite my learning curve in the annuity world. Um, but as far as our operations, that kind of as we built our internal structure, that was probably 2 years in the making to get to where we run as fluid as we do, to be kind of a well-oiled machine. But again, I can teach somebody what it took us 2 years just from internal operation to do in a matter of a couple months.
Mm,
Uh, so what took me 5 years, Cody, will take somebody 6 months to implement.
nice.
I'm not saying that you're going to write $1 million a month in in 6 months from now, but I can teach you the foundation to where in the next 6 months your entire organization looks totally different.
That's huge. That's huge. Joshua says, hey, I have agents that have a lot of potential, but they later quit. How can I stop this from happening often?
Have a lot of agents. Well, first you got to help them find their true potential, man. You got to connect with them in a certain way that allows you to when you connect with somebody and you can talk to them at their level, you got to figure out what it is they want. Once you figure out what somebody wants and you help them get there, they're going to be loyal to you forever. I'll give you an example. I've got guys in my organization that have been with me through this journey, through the worst parts. But the reason that they're here with me 6, 7, 10 years later is because when we first started, I found out what they wanted, and I've been constantly for 10 years helping them get to where they want to be. So, you have people that quit, that have potential. Dude, it's your job as a leader to figure out how to pull the potential out of them and get them moving in the right direction.
That's it. I love, yeah. Rich says, do you have a touch program to keep in touch with clients while you're waiting for the annuity to be issued?
Yes. Yeah, we do. We have a system internally that keeps people in the loop.
You think you'll share some of that Friday?
Yes, I will share some of that on Friday. Yep.
Boom. Are most of your clients coming from Facebook? I don't think so, but what's your thought?
None of them. None of them.
That's awesome.
Nope.
How much do you spend in marketing? Now we're getting into some good
Good
questions.
question. It's a good question. When I first started this, to really kind of build my pipeline, I would spend probably $4,000 a month on seminars.
Hmm.
And that would maybe more than that. On some months, if I was really kind of cranking it up, I would spend between 4,000 to 8,000. Now I know people hear that and they're going, "I could never do that." Let me be clear. I was selling mortgage protection, final expense. I'd land an annuity. I'd make $5,000 or whatever the commission was, and I'd take the dollars from there and reinvest it into another marketing platform. So it's not like I was, I had all this money. It was a progression, right? But now, what do I spend on marketing? Not a lot, because we built internal marketing companies that I've already kind of pre-spent. I mean, like last year, I spent over $250,000 building our marketing company. So, it's not as much as it used to be, but my pipeline is so full from everything that I've done for the last 5 years that I don't need to do a lot anymore. But that's not where I started. When I started, I was probably spending 4 to 10 grand a month to get to where I needed to get to, but that was a progression. Again, I know people hear that and they go, "I 10 grand. Oh my God, dude, it took me time to get there." Mortgage protection, final expense, nailed an annuity, put that money back into it, nailed a couple more annuities, put that back into. So it was a progression of just reinvestment in my business for the last 5 years.
Exactly. And you
But I would
got.
say I spend a few $1,000s a month still on marketing.
I think that's something that both of us do more better than most. Is we both invest a lot of our capital and cash and money back into our business over the last handful of years, when a lot of people don't do that. And look how much it's paid off. you know.
Well, dude, that's the difference, right? That's the difference between a CEO mentality. I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. I see these guys making $120 in gross commission, driving around an $80,000 BMW, and they wonder why their business is never gonna grow. You have to. I mean, dude. I want to buy everything in the world. I want the toys too, but I keep delaying, and invest into my business, into my infrastructure, into my staff, into my mindset. I probably spend $2,000 a month on personal development.
Exactly. Me too. Yeah, me too. Lost agent of the year by $77.30. Successful but exhausted. Need a streamlined pipeline. That's one of the things as we close up. We'll go about another 2 or 3 minutes here. That's one of the things you've done really well is you've got it streamlined so well that you walk in, for a lack of a better word, you walk in and print money.
Took me a long time to get here, but again, I'm going to explain how I did that. And don't get me wrong, listen, it's not that easy too. Like I have to work for my money. I have to work for these sales, but the fact that I do have the pipeline so full makes that part of it a lot easier. So now I can focus on closing business, helping families that I protect, and really putting my ultimate goal is to put a family in a better position when they come to me than when I found them. If I can't do that, I don't deserve that client. And
Right.
so that's been, again, that's this, you got to keep your pipeline full. So it doesn't come that easy. None of this is easy. This world is very complex. Let's not minimize it. This is a very tough, competitive world. Your job and what I've done is I've created space between myself and a lot of other people as far as my pipeline and my marketing goes.
Yeah. So the event is Friday.
Yeah.
What time does it start?
12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
12 o'clock Eastern Standard, 11 Central, etc.
Sharp. I mean, like we're going to roll. I mean, 12 o'clock comes around. I'll probably be on 10 minutes early, let people kind of jump on. I am going to be shutting everybody's camera down. The only thing you're going to see is me. I'm going to allow for chat when I open it up. But we're rolling, man. I mean, I'll give a couple breaks in between, but it is, I'm going to pound in the content for 5 hours nonstop. I mean, it is like, you're going to pay me, you're going to get it. And I'll tell you, I will also say, listen, if you go through 5 hours and you go, Ryan, this wasn't helpful, I'm going to refund you. I'll refund it. And I'll even give you an hour coaching session to figure out what I could do to make it better.
Jeez, dude. That's awesome. That's how much you care, though. I mean, you're going to deliver. Again, I'm a guest speaker. It's Ryan Polimeni's Annuity and IUL Masterclass. We posted the link in chat. It's on the screen right now. We got a couple more spots at the $749.95. It's going to be an unbelievable event, and it's going to take your business to the next level. Guaranteed. If you want to sell annuities and bigger life cases, this is the dude to show you. Okay. Any final words but before you see them on the Zoom on Friday?
Listen, the best investment you can make is in you. That's all I'm going to say. The best investment in your business that you can make is you. So you have to make that choice. Again, I don't care whether spend it or not. It's up to you. Make the decision. But no one will ever invest in you. You have to do it for yourself. That's all. That's what I've done for 10 years, 12 years. That has allowed me to think differently. It's just a constant reinvestment in myself. I wish I had this 10 years ago. I would have spent $700 or whatever it is, $800. I would have done it. Do the same thing.
I love it.
Everybody on there.
Dude, me too, man. It's going to be amazing. Thank you guys for jumping in.
Thank you.
Dude is going to teach you how to make some freaking coin on Friday. Make sure you get to the site and register. A couple spots left. We will see you on Friday. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.